Hey everybody, another daily vlog. So, let's talk about the news of the day. It just came out that Wikileaks revealed that the CIA is basically bugging every single device ever created. Okay, maybe not every device ever created, but your cell phones, iOS devices, Android devices, Windows devices, Mac OS, TV sets, modern TVs. They can turn on your microphone, listen in on what you're doing, everything. So I think nerds in the know knew that you have to assume that every communication you are having on digital devices is being monitored. Now, if you have a smart TV, with modern technology, it's being used potentially to monitor you. What's very disturbing, according to the WikiLeaks dumped, and I just skimmed over some summaries, the CIA and produced, probably other intelligence agencies, produced a whole bunch of bots and malware to basically be able to monitor everybody. And they lost control of this stuff. It's all over the place, and so people are using it. So again, you have to assume that you are being monitored at every given moment. So for me, for instance, I don't want people to know that I listen to disco on occasion. So I listen to it on vinyl, right? It's very protected. Now nobody will know if I'm listening to disco or if I'm listening to classic 80s as well. I don't want people to know that. So I don't listen to that digitally. I listen to it on vinyl. Protects me, keeps me anonymous that way. It's very important. So as a matter of protocol, if I were you, if you want your privacy, well, actually, it's pretty much impossible. If you're going to do anything that you don't want people to hear, you're going to have to do it analog, right? You're going to have to do it analog, so speak to people, not over the phone, in person. In addition to that, you have to assume that you're being monitored, so you should just always operate on that premise. You should always operate that people are going to be watching what you say and read and so forth. This is how I operate, and I just assume all the information is out there. So in terms of security, what I've done in Studio Web, for instance, where student identities and grades and marks and all this kind of stuff, this is all the things that Studio Web generates automatically. These are protected through just basics of database structure. So what we do to protect the identity of students is that we don't actually hold any personal information about the students in our databases. So even if our databases were ever hacked, they will not find any relevant information because we do not keep school information, we do not keep student personal information in our databases. Yes, they may, at the right moment, find a student's name, but they won't know from where in the world Steph Johnson lives, as an example. So in your data structures, you should also assume that everything is hackable. So for instance, I never, in my entire career, going back to the 90s, I never stored credit card information. I never wanted that responsibility. And so we've been hacked. I remember an old system of ours was hacked years back. It was a very old system. And they hacked, but they didn't get any real information because we don't store any good information on our databases. So if you're designing apps, I would suggest strongly that you try to design them in such a way so that they're functional without having to store personal information, sensitive information. So I remember a few years ago when all these stars and actresses and so forth got their iCloud accounts hacked and all their naughty pictures were circulated on the web. Again, you always have to assume that everything that you do online can and will be hacked. That's just the way it is. In closing with this vlog, I just want to mention the Python course. Sorry it's so slow. Work is pulling me in all these different directions. And as you may or may not know, reason for my course building these days is primarily for institutions, schools, and whatnot. And there are cycles to that. So I'm not rushing to get out the courses, and the courses I do sell to the general public, it's a sideline of a sideline. So it's important because I get great feedback and so forth, and I'm happy to teach everybody, but I'm not pressured to get them out quick because I don't need the Python course for Studio Web's institutional clients, where that's by far the bulk of the business, until like spring or fall, summer fall, excuse me. So sorry that it's been a little slow to trickle out. I got sick. That slowed things down as well. But they are coming. I took care of a bunch of work, and I'm going to resume recording some new material in Python as well. And that's pretty much it. So have yourself a great day, and we shall talk soon.